But this is where the real meat and potatoes of what I want to talk to you guys about, okay? I'm going to just start off with a typical sequence so that way we can put the prompting into perspective. Put on your shoes so we can get ice cream. That is the initial cue. Let's say mom is telling her son Charlie, put on your shoes so we can get ice cream. That's a first then prompt. That's okay. So what's next? The behavior, okay? We know that he needs a lot of help. So what happens? This is in typical everyday life, the scenario I'm giving. I do it at home with my kids all the time. Sometimes I see staff do it accidentally. I know parents probably do it at home all the time as well. It's not just me. And I'm not saying anybody's bad for doing it. It's just sometimes, we are in a rush. Sometimes, we have a lot of things going on. It's just got to get it done, got to get it done. But I think, in my opinion, the big reason for why it happens a lot, why we over prompt and why we talk so much and do so much, is we just really don't realize it. I mean, I don't know how many times I realize I'm giving extra prompts, and it's like, oh, I had no intention to. I just did it. So we have to start being really mindful of what our body is doing. I mean, literally, even if you use your eyes to gesture, to cue them on something, that is a prompt. You standing next to something that you want them to do, kind of like that, that's a prompt. It's really hard to just back it down. And this is why I want to start helping you guys realize to be more mindful of your body. So let's just start with this one. So mom says, put on your shoes. So sorry, this is a typical sequence that I'm explaining that happens probably every day. After that initial one, parent repeats it again 2 more times. Put on your shoes. Put on your shoes. Okay. So instead of making the child get the shoes, parent gets the shoes and brings it to him. We're speeding through this. We gotta go. We gotta go. Student doesn't grab the shoes. So what does parent do? She grabs his hands, partial physical prompt, and moves it towards his feet. Come on, put it on, put it on. This sounds just like me and my 2-year-old. Parent then gestures at the shoes and repeats, put it on. So a gestural prompt because they're pointing, and then a verbal saying, put on your shoes. Okay. And then finally, student puts the shoes on. Okay. Consequence. Consequence is not a bad thing. It sounds bad, but it's not in ABA land, okay? Consequence is just whatever immediately happens after the behavior. So behavior, put on the shoes. That's what the student did, put on the shoes. Consequence, they got ice cream, okay? Nothing wrong with what happened here. Yes, too many prompts, but I mean, listen, life happens sometimes. But this is where I really wanted to focus on right here with everybody, okay? This is really important. In that sequence of events, I want to show you what did the student learn right now. So this is what the student learned that they had to do to get ice cream, okay? So the student learned, after mom told me what to do, put on your shoes. Sorry, that's my washer. Stop. After mom told me what to do, she's going to say it 2 more times. She's actually going to get my shoes for me. She's going to help me and move my hands closer to the shoes. I'm counting over here. I got to make sure it's in front of the camera. She's going to put my hands closer to my feet. She's going to point at them. And then she's going to say it 1 more time. That's 6 prompts. That literally probably happened in 10 seconds. So the student learns with all those prompts that happened, he got ice cream. So if I want ice cream in the future, I have to just basically wait for all these 6 prompts to happen, and then I get it. So I wrote all the prompts in red because I want you to see how it decreases with time. And obviously with this many prompts is not independent. This is not where we want to be, okay? So that is a typical scenario of what happens. I've seen this happen in education settings with parents. I do it, sometimes it happens. We got to avoid it. So the way we would handle this in the classroom appropriately. So baseline just currently where they are, okay? This wasn't really where they're at. This is just what was happening. So the first step would be is you use as minimal prompts as possible compared to the typical sequence above. So we want to avoid this one, okay? So in this case, pretend we looked at the student for a long time and we found, okay, Charlie really only needs 2 prompts to get this done after that cue. He needs a partial physical to stand him up, and then needs a gesture to go get the shoes. So instruction, mom says, put on your shoes so we can get ice cream. Parent lightly lifts my arm up, so it literally could just look like this. Okay, and then parent's gonna point towards my shoes, and then I will go get the shoes, and then I'll put them on. Okay, the consequence after that behavior of waiting for those 2 prompts, using those 2 prompts, and then putting them on independently, consequence, he gets the ice cream. Okay, and this is fine. This is fine. What did the student learn in that scenario, though? So I want you to already look at over here. Look at all this red. Look at this red. It's already a big decrease, okay? So after mom told me what to do, She will then lightly lift my arm, and then she will point to my shoes. And then after that, I will get my ice cream. That's fine. This is the way we would do it in class, okay? You start where they're at, and then you move it up, okay? This is what the student's learning right now. Fine. So after that, so let's pretend, we watched them for a while, we worked on it, and they were successful a majority of the time. In ABA land, we like to shoot for 80%, okay? 80% for like 2 weeks, but it's your call, okay? No big deal. Next step. Once successful in the previous step, at your discretion, remove one of the previous prompts. In this case, I just said, let's remove the partial physical prompt, which was the lifting it up, basically, okay? And then we're only going to use a gestural prompt now, okay? So instruction, mom says, Charlie, put on your shoes so we can get ice cream. What does Charlie do? He waits. Mom has to then point to the shoes, and then Charlie then can initiate and go, okay. Then he stands up, gets his shoes, puts them on. What is the consequence for Charlie after doing that? He gets ice cream. Okay, good for you, Charlie. You're making progress. But what did Charlie learn in that situation? And again, this is what really ABA is. You have to look at what they're learning in the sequence of events. Charlie is learning, after mom tells me what to do, she will then point to my shoes, but then I get up and I get them. And then I get my ice cream. That's fine. That's already a huge step over here. He went from 2 prompts, and this is a very intrusive prompt, the partial physical. We got rid of it, and he used the gestural, which is in the mid-level. So he went from 2 prompts, a high one and a middle one, to now just 1 middle prompt. Good. That is great. Okay? But where do we always want our students to end up? We want them to end up independent. We want them to be able to do it on their own after the initial cue. Okay? So we want independence. This is now where you can expect completely independent. I don't need to do nothing other than give you that initial cue. Okay? You're going to do everything on your own. Instruction, put on your shoes so we can get ice cream. The student then independently gets up and gets their ice cream. Mom didn't have to point. Mom didn't have to touch him. Mom didn't have to say anything else. They just got up after mom said it the first time, got his shoes, put them on. So what did Charlie get? He got that ice cream, and I really hope in this case he gets like a double scoop because it's complete independence now. But what did Charlie learn? The very important one. Remember, you have to look at this whole sequence of events. After mom tells me what to do the first time, I just have to get up and get my shoes, and then I get ice cream. It's a sweet deal for Charlie. He learned he has to do it on his own. That is independent. We worked down from over here. We started down here. We had like this prompt and this prompt, and then we moved it to just this prompt. And then now he just basically just has the first initial cue, complete independence. This is where we all want to be. This is where my wife prays I'll be one day. This is the goal. So hopefully this makes sense. I'm going to try to do these videos like once a week. Please let me know any suggestions, any comments, any questions. I would love to hear it. I'm just trying to be I'm very thankful for you families helping me out. I want to be supportive as possible because this can be done in a variety of different ways in the house. So you guys have a great rest of your day. Talk to you later. Bye.